of road safety over the Easter weekend. This after at least 7 people have died in a collision between a taxi and a truck on the N1 North at the Kwa-Zulu Plaza in Limpopo this morning. Now, the latest accident comes as motorists prepare to go away for the Easter weekend in Kwa-Zulu Natal. The Transport MEC there expressed shock over a crash that claimed 5 lives on the Amajuba Pass outside Newcastle. Provincial law enforcement authorities are rolling out plans to combat road fatalities over the long Easter weekend. Okay, let's get an update with regards to traffic around the country. We're going to go to various points during the course of today's show. Let's go to Sentleeng Lihihi. She has been monitoring the traffic situation on the N4 from Rustenburg to Pretoria that leads to Polokwane. Hey, Sentleeng, thank you very much indeed for your time. What's it looking like on your side?
Morning, Blade, and our viewers. I'll tell you, since this morning, traffic has been generally quite low, but we've seen it peak quite reasonably in the past hour. We anticipate that this traffic volumes will begin to increase exceptionally after lunch towards later in the evening. We understand that, a large contingency of traffic officials have been posted around the national roads in our province, and those roads were anticipated to see an increased number of traffic making its way as holiday makers and religious pilgrims go to their holiday destinations and pilgrimage sites. We understand as well that, the motto for this Easter is clamping down on drunken driving, reckless driving, and sheer irresponsibility on our roads. As you can see behind me, traffic officials are out in their numbers, making sure that all road users observe the road rules and there is no fatalities. Given the fact that, this province was one of the provinces that saw an exceptional number of fatalities last year, having lost over 30 people in road fatalities over the Easter.
Yeah, look, one of the big issues is drunken driving. From what you're hearing from traffic officials, are they up to the task in terms of increasing maybe roadblocks during this time?
Most certainly. We understand that in this area alone, there will be about 4 roadblocks activated in specific roads. We can't detail which roads that will be, lest we destroy the department's plans. We understand as well that the department has took exceptional steps to beef up its contingent, having recruited even over 40 newly trained personnel.
All right, Sentleeng, thank you very much indeed for your reporting. Appreciate it. We'll try to catch up with you a little later on to get an update with regards to traffic volumes. Speaking about traffic volumes, they're expected to increase on the country's roads as holiday makers and pilgrims leave for their Easter holiday destinations this weekend. Traffic is expected to start increasing from today, and motorists are warned of expecting congestion on the N1 to Bloemfontein, N1 to Limpopo, and the N3 between Gauteng and Kwa-Zulu Natal. Let's get more on this now and speak to Road Traffic Management Corporation spokesperson Simon Zwane. Simon, always a pleasure to have you in studio. Just give us a sense of what we can expect for this weekend in terms of traffic volumes.
Yeah, we can expect that the roads will be very busy. In fact, we have started to see a build-up on the roads on the N3 towards Kwa-Zulu Natal. There's already more than 1,100 vehicles leaving Gauteng to Kwa-Zulu Natal an hour. So we expect that will build up to about 2,000 by around midday and continue like that until around 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Also towards Limpopo, there is a build-up, and which will also increase by midday and become worse towards evening when the buses going to the places of pilgrimage also will be joining. We have had an interaction with the bus companies, so they've given us their timetable. We know when the buses will be leaving Gauteng onto the N1 to the ZCC. So there is a plan for that. And we will be focusing quite heavily on public transport, particularly dealing with the issues of overloading of passengers, overloading of trailers, which you normally see around this time of the year, and also the issues around drunken driving, speeding.
Well, that's one of the big issues, isn't it? We heard from Sentleeng with regards to a heightened police presence on our road. Just give us a sense nationally in terms of the police presence and roadblocks this weekend. Has it started already?
It has started already. All provinces are on the roads. SAPS is on the roads. We've also deployed the National Traffic Police to augment, particularly in the provinces that will be expecting high traffic volumes, so that we can assist.
Simon, I want to talk about buns. Some hot cross buns, to be specific. I mean, you know about this video that's gone viral with regards to the alcohol level, I think, that the breathalyzers apparently picking up. Have you confirmed this video? What's the story there?
No, we've confirmed the video. Apparently it was a training video, and it's incomplete.
Right.
Because it shows what happens when you take a mouth alcohol content. So after eating the bun, there's fermentation that will happen because of the yeast and all of that. So that reading has to be repeated after about 10 or 15 minutes to get a confirmatory. Right. And the equipment they're using is a screening equipment. You don't use that for prosecution. That you use just for screening. If you have a reasonable suspicion that the person is intoxicated, you then take them to the evidential center, where the person will take a confirmatory test on the evidential breath analyzing tester. On that tester, your bun will not.
Won't pick up.
It won't pick up. In fact, it will register an error.
Okay, so say for instance, let's get an example, right? Practical example. I'm stopped at a roadblock. I've had, for instance, a hot cross bun for whatever reason. It picks up that my blood, the alcohol level in my breath registers on this test, this breathalyzer test. So I will be detained, and then a subsequent test will be conducted. Is that how it works?
That's not the only. That's not the only evidence. They'll also have to look at other indicators that gives them reasonable suspicion that you are intoxicated.
Right.
You know, you're smelling of liquor. Your eyes are bloodshot, slurred speech, those kinds of things, which will give them reasonable suspicion that you are intoxicated. Then they'll take you to the center where they have a proper evidential breath alcohol test. On that one. That one will give you a reading that can be used in court. Alternatively, they'll go draw blood, and that is the evidence that will stand in court.
Tell us about these breathalyzer tests. Anything new being used this time around?
Yes, we're using the evidential breath analyzer technology.
What's new about it?
What's new about it is that the results that it gives are valid. They go into the docket immediately, and there's no long waiting period now, waiting for blood to return from the laboratories and all of that. Immediately it gets into the docket. You can go to court and be prosecuted almost immediately.
We would want to deter anyone from drinking and driving, even if it's one beer or one glass of wine. That's the message, I guess, in order to keep the motorists safe during this period. In terms of some of the fines or sentences drunk drivers can expect if caught, what are they? Well,
the fines are quite heavy. Remember, this is not just a traffic violation. It's a criminal prosecution. It goes against your name as a criminal prosecution. People don't normally realize that. They think it's just a traffic violation. So you will go stand trial before a magistrate. The evidence will be led, and you will be sentenced by the magistrate, and having taken into account all the factors to an appropriate sentence that they deem you deserve to get.
Talk to us, Simon, about the campaigns in the run-up to this Easter holidays in terms of road safety. What has been out there?
Well, we've been out educating, particularly drivers who will be taking people to various places of pilgrimage, teaching them about fatigue, what signs to look for when they're driving and they're fatigued, the regular breaks that they need to take, liquids, water that they must take along the way.
Yeah.
It's important that people also must understand that on the road you must be visible, even motorists. So we're asking them to put on those lights. If your car doesn't have LED lights, put on your headlights so that you can be seen, and the other motorists, you can also see other motorists. In that way, we can trying to avoid the high number of head-on collisions that we see on the roads.
And it's simple things that everyone can do, isn't it?
Simple thing, increasing that following distance, being patient, understanding that there are many people on the road. The other people also have a right to be on the road. And understanding that it's not a race, it's a trip to a particular destination. So plan for it.
Yeah, and
so
enjoy the ride, I guess.
Enjoy the drive.
Yeah, I mean, they said there's two things that you need in order to have a successful, good trip. Is a good attitude and a sound, roadworthy car, isn't it?
So and some hot cross buns.
And some, don't forget the hot cross buns. Simon, thank you very much indeed for coming in. And I'm sure we'll get you during the course of the weekend to give us an update of what's happening. Simon Zwane there is from the RTMC. All right, let's go back to one of our top